want to begin this with Sree Iyer. Sir, Prime Minister Modi, you've heard what he had to say. He says that professional pessimists is what he's calling people who've been criticizing the budget, are far away from the ground reality, are far away from what the people of India think right now. Would you agree, Sree Iyer?
You're always going to have somebody critiquing a budget. After all, a budget is a roadmap for the next 5 years, since this is the beginning of a new term. What we have to see is what are the seeds that are being planted in this budget for the growth to happen over the next 5 years. Is $5 trillion economy achievable? Definitely. What is needed? Now, this is where people differ. Some may take this route and then you will get there. Some may say, no, this is not the way. You have to go in a different way. If you ask me, one of the things I'd like to see is to create a more transparent financial sector. Right now, in my opinion, it is not transparent enough for the foreign institutions to invest money in India's institutions. Once this happens, then the money will be coming in. There's a lot of money sitting in the sidelines waiting to be invested, but people are just not sure about what happens in India because there's a perception. I'm not saying this is the reality. There's a perception that it's easy to put money into India, very, very difficult to take it out. So this perception needs to go away. How does that happen? Increase the transparency in the finance sector. For instance, I have been saying this for a long time now. There were some frauds detected in the Premier Stock Exchange of India. And these things, people have not gone to jail. They have sat on thousands of crores of crime that happened, and yet the SEBI didn't find any fraud in that. Okay. Even the small fines that were levied, they've gone and put a stay order. I mean, this is where the problem comes.
Okay,
you have to say,
so
is there a problem?
Some advice there from you on what really needs to be done, but just quickly coming back to what it was the Prime Minister said that, he's termed the opposition and particularly some leaders as professional pessimists. Before I open my other guests as well, Sree, quickly comment on this. There has been some criticism against Rahul Gandhi as well. He's gone and he has watched this movie that has a very sensitive issue, that's dealing with a very sensitive issue, Article 15. That's what Rahul Gandhi was watching. How do you view that, considering that he is a public figure and whatever he does, it does end up gaining a lot of traction. So people have anyway been very critical of the movie and the subject that it's dealing with. And all of this happens amid Prime Minister Modi then calling some leaders professional pessimists. So Sree Iyer, how do you view this?
I mean, it's a free country. Everybody is free to do what they want.
He's free to watch whatever movie he wants to watch.
Article 15, he's fine. But the underlining thing here that we have to be done is, anything that you do, it has to be within the framework of the laws of the country. Are the laws being broken? I don't think so. Is somebody free to express an opinion saying that it's not going to happen? As long as they can provide the facts to back it up, that's when you have to take it seriously and look into it. But just making an off-the-cuff remark, I don't think that gains any mileage, because the Indian public has proven it just a month ago, saying whatever be the diatribes that the Congress was launching against the BJP, none of that stuck, because the people refused to believe them. So that credibility has to be there for someone to make an allegation that the budget is not right or it's not going to get you to the $5 trillion economy. I think it's a very laudable number. I think it's doable.
Okay. Sree Iyer wants to come in there, then I'll come to you, Professor Shastri. Professor Shastri, let's just give Sree Iyer a chance.
Respond?
Yes, sir. 30 seconds.
I'm going to get a little bit specific here. I'm going to get a little bit specific here. While India would like to grow to 5 trillion, it also wants to create a lot of jobs. And for that, India needs to move up the food chain. By that, what I mean is some of the lower cost jobs, like for example, doing support for instruments out of the West, all those things have now moved away from India to even lower cost countries. So India needs to move up the food chain. How does that happen? That is possible if India allows companies from the US, for example, Lockheed wants to come and manufacture F-15, 16, 25, 26, 35. One of those, right? Those kinds of jobs are needed because India has the expertise to execute these jobs. And these have huge job multipliers. One job of an F-15 will create like 10 jobs outside because of the service required, of all the expertise required, a high-tech tooling and other things that come with it. So those kinds of things is what India needs to be able to attract, which is why I'm saying that make the financial sector a little bit more transparent. What exactly will that mean? India needs to find where the problems are and effectively deal with them. Don't let the thing linger on and on. Right now, what we have is a judicial system that takes far too long for things to settle. And this is one of the things that the previous regime of Modi did, that they simplified bankruptcy laws. That is going to help in a big way. However, still, how do you make sure that somebody who's investing from outside of India have the assurance that India is very transparent about what's coming in and what's going out? We don't have that because we're not a fully convertible currency, you see. I'm not saying that we need to become convertible today. That is not possible. But give a roadmap. Say that this is how we are going to grow. If we go to this point, we will make the rupee to appreciate a little bit more, and so on and so forth. And today the NPS, it's a big mystery. What is in the bank? How much can they lend? I expect that whatever I'm saying is all foreign-based investment. That is the big thing because it gives you a lot bigger multiplier. In addition to this, India also needs to figure out how to clean up the bank's NPAs. We have to take a big chill pill and say, okay, fine, these are bad things. We are going to try and recover it from other countries. But
Right.
let us go back and recapitalize our banks. Let us create the Mudra Bank. Long pending. Mudra Bank hasn't happened. Mudra loans are happening from existing banks. Two different things. A Mudra Bank guarantees MSMEs 8 to 9% interest rates. That needs to happen too.
Okay, right.